Good morning. What's up, everybody? This is Dave Ettinger, the host of the DaveTalksSports podcast. This is episode number 10, a little day after July 4th podcast, around 6:18 in the a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, I should have empty roads for a commute home, and I like getting home in less than a half an hour from Manhattan to where I live. I definitely cannot complain about that. So I hope everybody enjoyed their July 4th, their holiday. If you're still off from work, enjoy. I worked last night, as you can see, at CBS Sports Radio Network. I'm on my way home. We'll be heading off to my second job in a little while. And so we'll take a little nap and then we'll go to work. But, who's counting? So, been a very weird week, kind of somber is kind of the word of the week. I know it's a holiday, I know everyone's celebrating, but these stories really put things in perspective. We talked about Tyler Skaggs passing away at the beginning of the week, the Major League Baseball pitcher of the Los Angeles Angels at just the age of 27. Players and the teams, the Rangers and the Angels, they took a day off. They postponed the game that day. I believe it was Monday that he passed away, so Tuesday they didn't play. They got back on the field and fittingly won their next game. And moments of silence all around Major League Baseball. But the very next day was another death in the sports world. Jared Lorenzen. Haven't had a chance to mention this the last couple mornings. He was the left-handed quarterback, came out of the University of Kentucky probably a decade and a half ago or so. Forgive me, I don't remember the exact year, but he just passed away the other day due to some health issues around the age of 38. So yeah, it was about 15, 20 years ago he was playing in college, and I remember him. Phil Mickelson may infamously have the nickname of the Hefty Lefty on the golf tour, but Jared Lorenzen was also known as the Hefty Lefty. He was always a very large man, if you will, on the football field, at least in the quarterback position. He was very creative. Despite his size, he was very elusive, and he got drafted, and he played in the NFL for a handful of years. I use the term playing pretty loosely. He was more of a backup quarterback. And he was on the 2007 Giants team, though, and he wasn't integral, but he played a small part in that miracle play, the play, the David Tyree catch where it's like the ball gets stuck to his helmet, against the Patriots, where Eli was able to somehow get out of the pocket when it looked like he was in someone's grasp. And that's something that they worked on in practice. And you've probably seen some videos of that floating around if you've followed the Jared Lorenzen, passing over the last couple of days. Sorry for the bumps. A lot of construction going on here in the city. They used to practice that. Jared Lorenzen would come in and try to grab at Eli Manning's shoulder pads, at his arm, grab at the ball, try to get him to fumble. So it's kind of an interesting piece of history, and Lorenzen being part of that moment, sort of, in Giants history. But, he was very heavy set throughout his playing days, even more heavy set after his playing days. So he had some health issues, and unfortunately he passed away at the age of 38. Now, more, sad news coming out of Miami yesterday. An NFL hopeful, I believe his name is Kendrick Norton, defensive tackle, and he's, like I mentioned, a hopeful. He was on the Carolina Panthers practice squad last year, and he was hoping to make, getting picked up by the Dolphins and hoping to make their squad in this coming season. Well, he was in a very tragic car accident, and a lot of different details and reports coming out, but officials and authorities, they had to amputate one of his arms at the scene of the accident. Just wild stuff. And he looks like he's going to survive, but lucky that he's going to survive. But it's not very often that you hear of that. Amputations happen due to car accidents and other accidents, but happening at the scene of a car accident it's kind of crazy. Apparently his truck was hit by somebody else. It allegedly was not his fault. His car flipped completely, ended up upside down, and however the accident happened, one of his arms got just pinned and unfortunately crushed, and that's why it had to be amputated at the scene. So just really, really sad news coming out of Miami. Now we go across the pond for our next story. Rafael Nadal. He's aging, he's getting a little bit older, but he's had, a resurgence in all aspects of tennis. Continues to win French Opens. It's just unbelievable how good he is at the French Open and on the clay surface. But he also has been known to play pretty well at Wimbledon. Now, you have a not so top-ranked Nick Kyrgios, a tennis player out of Australia, who, by all accounts, and even by Rafael Nadal's account, is a guy that not only could be, but should be winning Grand Slam titles on the tour. He's so talented. He's big, he's strong, he's fast, he's athletic, he knows the game. He's a very talented, skillful guy. But his mental aspect is not there. He's a head case. He argues with the chair umpires all the time. He loses his stuff in the middle of matches. And any professional athlete will tell you, and I'm not a professional athlete. I played a lot of sports in my life, but to a whole nother level when you get to college and then professionally speaking, most of what you need to do, because all the guys and gals and all the other people who are playing sports, especially professionally, they all have that skill set. Usually the physical attributes, they can run, the jump, whatever the sport is. Their hand-eye coordination is amazing. But usually the differentiating factor is what's between the ears, what's upstairs. The mental strength, the mental capacity, the mental game is so important in every sport. But you hear that a lot in individual sports like golf and tennis. It's such a mental game. And Nick Kyrgios, as talented as he may be, as skillful as he may be, has never been able to put that all together and just does not have the mental capacity to win these big matches. So while you see his name in the draw and you say, it's against Nadal, this may be a tough match for Nadal. It never really is. And Nadal handles Kyrgios yesterday in 4 sets, but as per the usual, you get the antics from Kyrgios. He's arguing with the chair umpire. He's hitting underhand serves. Now, I have no problem with that, really. You want to hit an underhand serve, it's unconventional, and it catches people off guard, which it did. It actually worked both times that he did it, in catching Nadal completely off guard, and he won those points. But it's not the conventional way to do things, and that's definitely not Nick Kyrgios. He and the way you're supposed to do things don't often collide in the same sentence. So he goes down in 4 sets, and that's not really the entertaining part. The entertaining part is his post-match press conference. Now, I know we're all busy people, but today being July 5th, maybe you're not working today. Hopefully you've spent the time to watch this whole video in its entirety. Of course, I'm making up words. Entirety. I speak English good. I am Dave Ettinger, your host of CBS Sports Radio Network, and this is the Dave Talk Sports Podcast, episode number 10. You join me every morning on my way home from work. That's right. And it is Friday morning, July 5th. You can follow me on Twitter at DaveEttinger2. You can subscribe down here below the video by clicking that subscribe button and subscribing to the Dave Talk Sports YouTube channel. Find me on my website, DaveTalkSports.com, as well on my I'm having a hard time speaking today, as well as on my Facebook page, Dave Talks Sports. If you have 15 minutes to spare today, outside of the 15 minutes you're going to use watching this video, go watch Nick Kyrgios' post-match press conference. When I get home, and I can, I'm going to go on Twitter at Dave Ettinger 2. I'm going to post a link to it. But you could also go to the Wimbledon website and just click on videos. It's right there on the main video page. It's worth your time. Trust me. Let's see if I can get past these people as I get on the Williamsburg Bridge safely. All right. This guy is a walking, talking Hall of Fame soundbite. Just unbelievable. He tells you how awful the chair umpire is. He tells you that he loves the media very sarcastically. He's very facetious. He gets into it about Rafael Nadal because they don't really love each other. And the interesting part with that is the back and forth of, in the third set, Kyrgios hits a ball directly at Nadal. Now this happens, especially when you get closer to the net. Sometimes these fast-paced shots, they go boom, boom, back and forth. And sometimes someone gets hit with the ball on a tennis court. It happens. But the convention is, you put the hand up, you say, oh, my bad, I didn't mean that, and you move on with your day. Kyrgios doesn't do that. Now, technically, he doesn't hit Nadal, but he hit it directly at him, and it hits his racket. Nadal's athletic enough, he kind of gets out of the way, sort of, and deflects the ball out of the way. But at no point does Kyrgios apologize, and they already don't really like each other, and Nadal, he wasn't pleased. And in the post-match press conference, Kyrgios says, well, why am I going to apologize? I don't need to apologize. He's got all these grand slams, all this money in the bank. You know, he can take a tennis ball off the chest every once in a while if he has to, right? This guy is unbelievable. The first question, let me tell you, I want you to watch the whole video, but this thing is awesome. The very first question from the reporters, and of course, you know, it's the All England Club at Wimbledon, so they're across the pond, so they're not going to bars, they're going to pubs. So the very first question is, hey Nick, how are you? Do you think you could have played better if you weren't out at the pub last night? And he goes, no. No. I did all I could do. I can't beat Rafael Nadal. It is what it is. So, no. I wouldn't have changed a thing. I was still getting hammered at the pub last night, playing Nadal at Wimbledon hungover. I mean, come on. In all honesty, the guy's a joke. He's a clown show. But this is why we're talking about him, because he's an interesting soundbite, and he's still a super talented player. He's in the top 50 without even trying, clearly. Go check it out. When I get home, like I said, I'll tweet out the link to this video. It's worth your 15 minutes. Of course, after the 15 minutes of watching this. So, in other news and notes in the tennis world, you get Angelique Kerber, who actually won Wimbledon last year, gets knocked out by an American, Lauren Davis. Just, climbing the ranks over the last couple of months, but not really a top name or a top player. Has been ranked outside of the 250 at one point this year. So for her to take down Kerber, just unbelievable. To the hardwood, like I said, I'm having a really hard time speaking this morning. I don't know why. It's not like I was out at the pub last night. I had a beer for the holidays, not the 17 that Kyrgios probably had. To the hardwood we go. Michael Porter Jr. This was a first-round pick from the Denver Nuggets this past year. A lot of people liked it. He's a very talented player. Came out of Missouri. Only played part of the year at Missouri. He was injured, a lot of back injuries and other injuries. And he didn't see 1 minute in the NBA on the floor last year for the Nuggets. Now, everyone thought, okay, he spent this whole year, even though he was injured, he's going to get healthy, he's going to get right now. Not so much. He's got a knee sprain now in the Summer League. I mean, the question is Michael Porter Jr. going to be the next Kyrie Irving, who started his career with some injuries? Or is he going to be Joel Embiid, who started a couple years of his career with injuries, but then turned out to be fantastic players? Or is he going to be Greg Oden, and he never amounts to anything due to injury? I guess only time will tell. It's just, another blow to the Nuggets and to Porter Jr. I'd really like to see him on the court. And most importantly, I saved the best for last. It's interesting, right? You see something every day, you hear something every day for so many years, for so many decades, for such a long time. If you're a Yankee fan or a baseball fan, you've been listening to John Sterling on the radio forever. You know him. He's got the quirky calls. Aaron Judge hits a home run. He goes, "All rise, here comes the judge." Or he's got all sorts of calls. You know, Brett Gardner hits a rare home run. He goes, "And Gardy goes Yardy." He's got all the calls. Gary Sanchez hits a home run. It's, "Oh, the great Sanchino." He's got it rhymes. It's odd when he doesn't have a call. I remember when I believe it was Thairo Estrada hit a home run, and he was either fumbling for his note card to try to remember what the name that he was going to use for Estrada was, or he just didn't have one, because you hear like 7 seconds of radio silence, and then he comes out with, Estrada hits a home run to left center, and the Yankees take a 4-2 lead. And that was it. He couldn't find the call. John Sterling on July 4th, which happens to be his birthday, took his first day off from the Yankees radio broadcast in 30 years. He hasn't missed a game in 30 years since 1989. On his 81st birthday, he's taken some time away. Now we hope he's okay. We're not sure if it's some health concerns or what's going on. But think about that streak. You get the spring training games. You get the regular season games, all the postseason and World Series games from the Yankees. And he hasn't missed a single one in 30 years. 1989. I was 3 years old the last time he didn't broadcast a game for the New York Yankees on the radio. And Ryan Ruocco, I listened to about half the game. He did a very nice job filling in. He didn't try to be John Sterling. He was just himself. You know, if you like his style, you don't like his style, that'll be up to you. But I appreciate that he tried to give his own inflections, his own home run calls. Gary Sanchez hit a home run, and he says, "Goodbye, a 3-run deposit for Gary Sanchez." And he had good energy, and I thought he did a very good job. Now, to the TV side of things for the Yankees, Michael Kay. This is another big blow, because Michael Kay is not only the voice of the Yankees on TV, he's got his own sports talk radio show on 98.7 ESPN New York. And he's going to need approximately a month off because he's having vocal cord surgery. I mean, talk about the kiss of death for a radio and TV broadcaster. I mean, it's just, you can't make this stuff up. Now, again, we hope John Sterling's okay, and we wish the best to Michael Kay. I really hope he comes back really soon, really strong, really healthy, and he regains everything that he's always had with his voice, because he does a fantastic job in his show, and he does a fantastic job broadcasting the Yankee games on TV. So we hope and we wish him a speedy recovery following his vocal cord surgery. Well, my friends, I'm almost home because there is no traffic again on a sort of holiday, July 5th, and it's Friday. We like Fridays because we're heading into a weekend. I want everybody to enjoy themselves today. Be safe. I know people are out traveling, on vacation. I always appreciate you guys joining me on my commute home. Tomorrow when you talk to me, hopefully I can speak a little bit better, a little bit more clearly, enunciate all my words the right way. But I am Dave Ettinger, your host of CBS Sports Radio Network. This is the Dave Talk Sports Podcast. This has been episode number 10. You could find this on my YouTube channel, Dave Talk Sports. Please subscribe down there below the screen somewhere. Just click it. It's easy. It takes half a second. You can follow me at Twitter at Dave Ettinger2. Again, I will be posting a video to the Nick Kyrgios post-match press conference after losing to Rafael Nadal. It's worth your 15 minutes. And check out my website, DaveTalksSports.com, and find me on Facebook at DaveTalksSports. All right, everybody, enjoy your Friday, enjoy your weekend. Until tomorrow, see ya.